Good evening. I'm Dr. Fred Rouse, the Real Money Doctor, and it's currently just about 7 o'clock on Thursday, the 6th of August. And I want to touch base today on today's events that affect the way you get, protect, and enjoy your money, your life, and your retirement. Now, the question for today is, can one thing make a difference? And I'll get to that in just a few minutes. It's going to be a little bit interesting tonight. We've been touching base on the current COVID situation because it's the major mover in the U.S. and most of the world at this point in time. More so in the U.S. because the rest of the world has it halfway under control, at least. For the U.S., it's totally out of control still. So right now, the current COVID cases are 4,870,000 cases. Okay, that's up another 65.5 thousand since yesterday. Number of cases that have recovered, basically 30%. That hasn't really changed that much. And of all the cases, if you've been diagnosed, you get about a 3% chance of actually dying. So the deaths right now are, I can't believe this number, 159,864 people have died. 159,864 people have died from COVID this year. Okay. Absolutely unnecessary, totally off the wall and ridiculous. The U.S. is just so far behind in their control of this. We have no control whatsoever. It's unbelievable. Right now, again, that's up 6,000 cases since yesterday. I'm not exactly certain what's going on. I'm sorry. It's up 2,300 cases. 2,300 people have died since yesterday. California's got the number one spot. They've crawled up there about 3 weeks ago now, and they have 553,000 cases that are diagnosed. 9,875 people have died. It's another 167 since yesterday. Their numbers are still sitting in that same range. Florida's got the number 2 spot. You know, Florida's getting off the wall with their numbers. Texas is number 3. New York is at number 4. Georgia's got the number 5 spot. Illinois has moved up to number 6 this past week. New Jersey's at number 7. Arizona's at 8. North Carolina's got number 9. And Louisiana has moved up to number 10 this week. Now, it's Thursday. And the numbers are out. Okay. New numbers from the unemployment insurance claims dropped last week after 2 straight weeks of rising. But it remains, still well above the pre-pandemic levels, according to Labor Department data. Right now, this is the 20th straight week that more than 1 million Americans have filed for jobless claims. 20 straight weeks, over 1 million. Total number is 1.19 million people filed just this last week. Okay, that's down from the 1.4 million from the week before, but again, you're still over 1 million a week for 20 weeks right now. The number of new claims has come down since the peak in March. It was more than 6 million, but this is well above the record high. Again, the record high for unemployment claims was originally 695,000. 695,000 claims. That was a record number in 1982. And now we've had 20 weeks of over 1 million claims a week for 20 weeks. Right now, another 656,000 new claims were filed for pandemic unemployment assistance. Okay, the benefits offered to gig and self-employed workers. Okay, it's promising that the initial unemployment numbers for those people have ticked down just a little bit, and that's according to an economist at Indeed Hiring Lab. But according to her, we're still not out of the woods yet, and the claims are still much higher than in pre-COVID era. So it's pointing to a lot of economic pain at this point in time. What a surprise. Okay, the numbers are coming down, but they're coming down very, very slowly. And what many economists say, it's really an inflection point at this point in time of our country. Congress continues to wrangle over an extension of $600 a week benefit for unemployment benefits. Okay, they gave out tons and tons and tons of money to corporations without a blink of an eye. And now, okay, that American workers are running out of money, okay, an extra $600 a week. They're going off the wall about it, absolutely off the wall. Now, that money is going to go directly into the economy, okay, versus the money that they went after the corporations that just stayed in their accounts. Now, that $600 a week extra benefit is really the thing that pushes people, okay, from starving and evictions to at least being able to eat and stay in their apartment or their house, okay. There's been a ban on the evictions for a while. That's expiring at this point in time, and nobody knows what's going to happen with that, okay. Evictions, mortgage, credit card defaults, plunging consumer demands, it's all pointing to a bad thing for the economy, hands down. Now, funds from the Paycheck Protection Program, that's $660 billion in federal aid that was meant to help small businesses, keep workers on the payroll, okay. That money right now is in the process of running out also. Now, the coronavirus has had an absolutely relentless march, okay, since mid-June. And it added a lot of uncertainty as to what the country can actually expect if there's any chance of returning anywhere near anything that was considered normal, okay, in the near future. Doesn't look really, really good, okay. Normal has changed. Normal has definitely changed. And this is the new normal. So get used to it. Without a doubt, this is the new normal. Mask and social distancing, expect to see them for at least another year or so, at least. Now, in Ohio, Governor Mike DeWine tested positive for COVID on Thursday, today, ahead of a scheduled meeting with the president that was scheduled for Cleveland. Now, the 73-year-old governor didn't have any symptoms, but was heading back to Columbus, the state's capital, to get tested again, along with the state's first lady, Fran DeWine. Now, the governor plans to quarantine at his home in Cedarville for the next 14 days. President Trump was scheduled to visit a Whirlpool plant and speak about the economy. The president, wishes Governor DeWine a speedy and full recovery and commends the job he's been doing for the great state of Ohio. And that's according to the White House spokesman, Judd Deere. That's what he had to say. Now, Ohio, like other states in the Midwest, has really been struggling with a recent surge of corona cases, including the rural counties. On Wednesday, the state reported 1,199, almost 2,000 new cases, more than double the daily number in early June. The week's cases, bring the total number of infections in Ohio to more than 96,300. It's according to data from Johns Hopkins. Now, more than 3,500 people in the state have already died from the disease. Now, Governor DeWine, he's a Republican, but he's been credited with taking aggressive action this spring to really stem the spread of the virus, including shutting businesses before many other states did so. And he got some shit about it, okay? But he was out there, okay? He did what he needed to do because there was absolutely no federal leadership on this thing. It all got dumped over to the governors. He was one of the guys who stepped up and said, no, we're going to shut things down, okay? So he's done an okay job out there. Now the governor's urged residents to, step up the efforts, okay, from wearing masks and social distancing, okay? He's really been pushing those things. In mid-July, he issued a color-coded system to track the counties. On Tuesday, he issued an order requiring children returning to in-person classes this fall to wear a mask. Now, on the school front, the president is still pushing to reopen the schools with in-person classes. Even, Twitter and Facebook took down posts from him and his campaign promoting blatantly false information about COVID and about kids. Now, Corinth, Mississippi reopened schools last week. They welcomed students back after a long break during the pandemic. But at the end of the week, one student had already tested positive for COVID. Right now, More than 100 students have been sent home to quarantine. The Corner School District announced that just the other day. With Wednesday, the total number of positive cases has risen to 6 students and 1 staff member since the school started back on July 27th. Not that long ago, folks. July 27th. It's only August 6th right now. Matter of a few days. Now, the cases span across the district's elementary, middle, and high schools. A spokesman for the school district told CBS News on Thursday that 111 students, actually 116 students, have been sent home to quarantine for 2 weeks. Those students were considered to be in close contact with a positive case, meaning that they were within 6 feet for 15 minutes or longer. Now, Mississippi reports the highest number of COVID cases per capita. The district, which really doesn't plan to reverse its reopening plans, has had a total student population of 2,700. Okay. It said the students who have been told to quarantine cannot attend schools or any other school activities, but are expected to work diligently, digitally from home. Now, parents were given the option of doing distance learning from home even before the school year began, and that's according to Coombs. The virtual program for the school offers, it pretty much runs parallel to their in-person instruction. He said our teachers have done an outstanding job adapting to this new sense of normalcy. They're on the front line and continuing to educate each child virtually and in the classroom. Okay. We have changed our routines in the buildings, and we're excited we could be open and adjust and have our students back for the fall. Okay. I think he's a little bit on the hopeful side, but we'll see what happens. The district has been posting daily updates for parents on Facebook with new information about positive cases. It said that it runs daily temperature screenings for students and staff as they enter. And officials requested that the parents also conduct daily health checks before sending their children to school each morning. Makes perfect sense. Now, the district believes that the heightened safety measures and contact tracing procedures will be enough to prevent further spread of the virus. But we discussed this yesterday. There have been some horrendous numbers in Mississippi right now. Their positive rate, the positivity testing rate, is off the wall. Okay, absolutely off the wall. And they've got very, very little hospital staff there in the way of medical care. The number of physicians in the state is fewer than any other state. Okay, the entire state, for all intents and purposes, is rural, whether they've got cities or not. The entire state of Mississippi is pretty much rural, and they're going to have a hard time. They're having a hard time now, and I can't see anywhere near how they're going to open schools in person, remotely effectively. It just can't happen. Okay, but we'll find out in the next couple of weeks, because as they open them up, we'll see what happens. Okay, they're going to open them up and they're going to shut them back down again. Now, many districts around the country still have not decided exactly how they plan to return to the classrooms, okay, for the upcoming school year. Some have already sending students back home after spikes in cases, while others have actually canceled in-person learning altogether. Now, that really brings me to the question for today. Okay. Can one thing make a difference? Life is sort of a cumulative thing. For most people, they're where they are right now in life is really pretty much based on a string of small cumulative decisions and events that have happened over a period of time. Your health in your 20s and your 30s is pretty much based on the string of cumulative events and decisions that you made or happened in your teens. Did you eat healthy? Were you consistently snacking with pizza, soda, and candy, and then booze and drugs when you're actually old enough to get those things? Okay. Your financial status and condition in your 50s is pretty much based on decisions that you made and the events that happened to you in your late 20s, 30s, and 40s. Okay. Who'd you associate with? Did you choose to go to college or not? What field did you decide you wanted to study in? Okay. Did you study? Or were you there for the college experience and you were just one of the party animals there? Did you get married, buy a house, raise a family? Did you have a stable job? Or were you laid off due to the economy at some point in time? Happened to a lot of people, totally outside of their control. Were you fortunate enough to have enough money for the family and still be able to save a little bit for your retirement? If you did, that was great. What did you do with it? Okay. Did you invest that money? Where? What type of returns were you getting? Did you even know? Do you know today? Did you get caught in the market crash or possibly two? All these decisions and events, okay, made you who you are today. It's very cumulative. Now, one just feeds right into the next one. It's just the way things work. And at the time, we don't even recognize what's happening because we're just, getting by on a daily basis. But is there a single event, a single thing that can make a difference in our lives? If so, what could it be? Okay. For some, it might be a debilitating disease or an accident. For others, maybe a good marriage can make all the difference. To find the right person, it could make a difference in your entire life, changes things completely. A bad one can have a lasting change and effect too. Okay. One bad marriage, one bad divorce. Unbelievable what that does to you. Financially, a divorce could wipe out 60% of your money, and you could be devastated for years, emotionally and financially. Maybe you have a rich relative and you receive a major inheritance. Or maybe you were fortunate and you actually won the lottery, although most lottery winners are broke within 5 years anyway. Too much money too fast, and they just didn't have the skills to handle it. But that's a discussion for another day. So yes, one thing in your life could make a major change, major difference in your life. The problem with these one thing situations and events is that you generally have absolutely no control over if or when they actually happen, if they happen at all, which makes them sort of useless for planning purposes. I mean, you don't want to wait your entire life to see if something may or may not happen, even though some people are still waiting for that amazing lottery ticket. Okay. Waiting for a rich unknown relative to die and leave them a chateau somewhere in France. Okay. People are still waiting for those things. So what does this really all mean to you? Okay. It's the small cumulative decisions that you do actually control that will have a lasting impact on your life. You can't change what's already happened. It's in the past. It's done. You can make better decisions starting today and moving forward that will affect your future. You just need to recognize that each one of those actions and inactions that you take today will have a positive or a negative effect on your life tomorrow. So you want to choose wisely. Now, I'm Dr. Fred Rouse, the Real Money Doctor. My only goal is to help you get, protect, and enjoy your money, your life, and your retirement. If you want to see how a little decision today can have a major impact on your retirement life and give you the best chance to retire in the next 3 to 5 years, starting with as little as $10,000, go to my site, drrousenow.com. Take a peek at the video. See if it makes sense to you, and if that one little decision could change your life and get you the ultimate secure retirement that you've always dreamed of. For now, I appreciate spending some time with you, and I appreciate you spending some time with me. I look forward to spending some more time with you on Monday. Now, today's Thursday. I said Monday. I'm going to be tied up tomorrow in a scheduled meeting, and I won't be able to do the show tomorrow, but I will be back on Monday. I'll see if I can't post something for you anyway, but I'll be back on Monday, and we'll pick it up then. For now, I appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.